This New Orleans team riding a 4-game losing streak, 4-15 now with a 13-point fourth-quarter lead. James trying to do it himself and missed inside.
Another contested shot. He has not gotten anything easy.
That one wasn't easy either. He just happened to finish.
And he's working hard. Do they have one more run? This would be such a huge win for New Orleans. They're trying to find something to get a spark after the 4 straight losses. And for Cleveland, a tough schedule. They got a back-to-back in Miami tomorrow. That's going to be a tough one.
Miami coming off a big win against Oklahoma City. Shot clock all the way down to 4. Cole might have to heave. He does. James the rebound. 5 boards, 7 assists, 18 points for LeBron, but just 6 of 17 from the floor. James forcing his way past his former teammate Cole.
Welcome back to New Orleans. I'm sitting here with a guy who had a decent game last time out for LSU. 43 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 steals, 3 blocks. LSU freshman sensation Ben Simmons gets compared a lot to LeBron James. Ben, how cool is it just to be in an NBA arena watching the guy you get compared to so often?
It's awesome. It's a really different game, but it's always good to come down here and watch.
What is it about his game that you either try to emulate or want to try to perfect?
I mean, he's one of the best players in the world that's played the game. So, I was trying to take little parts of his game and put it into mine. But his size is one of the things that I look at. And, I'm 6'10", he's around 6'8", 6'9", and I try and, fit what he does into my game.
He talked this morning at shoot-around about knowing you for a few years now. Describe your guys' relationship.
He's like a big brother to me. He gives me a lot of advice if I ever need him for anything. He looks out for me, and he's one of those people, you have to have as a mentor because, he's one of the best players in the world, and, I respect him so much, and he's a great player.
What are those conversations like? I mean, this is a guy who's arguably the best player in basketball.
They're normal, it's just a normal conversation. If I have anything I need to ask him or talk to him about, he answers me and gets back to me, but, he's a great person.
Let's have a little fun here and just give me a little breakdown of how he's playing tonight.
He's doing well. The game's a bit different right now. Pelicans are playing well on defense, and I think they're boxing out a lot more on the offensive glass right now. So we'll see what happens.
I think he's got a fourth quarter comeback in him.
Oh, definitely. It's LeBron.
Thank you, Ben. Brian.
That's probably the best explanation of why the fourth quarter comeback is possible, right? I mean, hey, it's LeBron. That young man can play, though.
Yes, he can. The thing that to me is sort of amazing is these young guys, how mature they are now.
Yeah.
Sitting over there with Israel, how at ease he was, and they get exposed to so much media-wise and interviews and all the things that they go through as young people. I just can't even fathom being a freshman in college and being like that.
And a good sign because more attention is coming for Ben Simmons. James with the shot clock at 4. James, the hesitation, lays it up and in, and now LeBron James starting to get cooking a little bit in this fourth quarter.
Well, New Orleans, they're going to have to make sure they keep moving the ball. They can't get against this clock and start taking tough shots.
Anderson, open, a 3, off. Here comes James, who scored the last 6 for Cleveland. They trail by 9. 22 points, 7 assists, 5 boards for LeBron James. James right around Anthony Davis and made it look easy.
Well, somebody's got to get some help on the weak side. The problem is LeBron is such a great passer. Hold on right now if you're New Orleans. You're getting ready to make a push.
LeBron has scored the last 8 for Cleveland. Pelicans have led by as many as 13 in this fourth. Evans denied. Love starts the break. Smith will give it up to James, motoring and kicking to Dellavedova on a 3.
Now New Orleans has got to find a field goal. Let's see if Eric Gordon can come off that bench and knock down a shot for him.
Evans was grabbed, and the foul is called. Evans shuffled the feet after, but he was hooked on the back before any travel or a jump. And that's going to be the 4th on J.R. Smith. That left arm of J.R. Smith was sort of tugging at the jersey a little bit. And Evans to the line as Cleveland is over the limit.
That's a big call right there. All of a sudden You stop the bleeding a little bit, you get to the line, and then now what you do is you get back and get your defense set.
Evans, 13 points tonight, 3 of 4 from the stripe. Just his 3rd game back from injury. And he knocks down both. It's a 6-point game. Now, when David Blatt talks about the Cavs, he says, frankly, we haven't played a high level of basketball, but what we've done is we've weathered the storm. We've been competitive. We've been gritty. Trying to grit out a 4th quarter here. Thompson, deep catch. Over Ashik? No.
Another good play by Ashik. He's had a really good 4th quarter here.
And solid defensively all night, especially in the second half. Evans a 3. Off the mark, Smith boxed out Davis, but it hit the baseline and it'll stay with the Pelicans.
Well, Anthony Davis got away with it over the back on that one. I think that the referees might have thought that Cleveland was going to secure that rebound and then ended up going off a Cleveland player, but Anthony Davis went over the top here. At least from my view, it looks like it. He's got his left hand on the shoulder of J.R. Smith.
And a little forearm to the neck, maybe.
Yeah.
Davis nearly lost it. Here's Anderson catching fire, way off. James, 2 on 3, off balance, and he finishes.
Well, that was a subtle little play by Kevin Love. If we get a chance to see that later on, or whether he set a screen on his own guy and was able to, LeBron was able to just come right off his shoulder.
Davis, too strong. Rebound backs around. Who's going to get it? Bodies everywhere. And Evans ends up with it. James steals it. James separates, flips, hits, and the foul. LeBron James, just too strong.
Are you kidding me? How about picking up the loose ball? Watch this loose ball here. Everybody's down on the courts. Right here. I mean, Eric Gordon is like a little bowling pin. He got knocked backwards on that play. Look at the strength here. Off the glass.
Crowd booing. They thought it should have been an offensive foul on the initial contact with Gordon. James hits the free throw. He has 15 in the 4th quarter. The NBA's leading 4th quarter scorer. 1-point Pelicans lead. And now it's Cleveland ball.
Now it starts getting tight. Remember the last 2 games you talked about the 4th quarter, you start having visions of losing those leads and not finishing strong.
New Orleans has been trying to go offense-defense with Ashik and Anderson, but Ashik denied entry here. And Cleveland has erased a 13-point deficit down to 1. They have the basketball, and LeBron James has been special so far in this 4th. Pelicans were in control, and then LeBron James happened.
Well, he's just relentless in his approach. He had a little drive on Ryan Anderson, a little up and under, and a little quick move on Anthony Davis, one of the better defenders in the NBA. This is just strength. Little fading shot off, but I see Tyreek Evans shake his head now, but this is just, that's just man muscle right there. And he just goes right through 2 guys, gets it off the glass, 3-point play. New Orleans is up 94-81. It's a 16-4 run since then. Closing the game out here. This is such a big game for New Orleans as they're trying to right the ship. Can they hold on? And for Cleveland, this will be a heck of a comeback.
James with 15 in the quarter, 6 of 9 from the floor. LeBron short, the follow, no. Still persistent, and that's out of bounds off of Davis. It'll stay with Cleveland. LeBron James just using all of his force inside in this 4th quarter.
You know, Ryan, when you watch him, the speed and the power, the strength, the grace with which he plays. You know how hard this guy works in the offseason and during the season to be able to keep his body, to be able to play like this every single night.
Be this strong down the stretch of a game. Dellavedova off. Thompson keeps it alive. The offensive rebound's a big factor here for Cleveland.
Well, Tristan Thompson's been a factor in the 4th quarter. We've talked about him before.
switched on Ashik. 7 to shoot. James. The step back. You bet. Cleveland in front. LeBron with 17 in the fourth. 99-98. Cavs over the Pelicans. Evans lost it. And New Orleans is coming apart.
Very tight play there. Drew Holiday coming in. Very tentative pass. Keep your eye on Kevin Love here now on this weak side. LeBron will look for him for a 3 on penetration.
Here's the mismatch on Ashik again. James accelerates all the way in. LeBron James is in for 2 again. 19 in the fourth.
Don't analyze. Just idolize right here. I mean, you kidding? What are you going to say? This guy has been so good driving to the rim. Just his sheer will. They were dead in the water. I mean, LeBron was playing poorly. I mean, he was not having a good game. And all of a sudden, the switch was flipped.
He was shooting poorly, missing even at the rim. You see the numbers, and in his fourth quarter, he has been electric. A season high for a fourth with 19. He has 33 now in the game. And Doug, New Orleans was up in this game 94-81 in this fourth quarter.
Yes.
And LeBron has led a 20-4 Cavs run.
Well, when
LeBron James has single-handedly outscored the Pelicans in this fourth. But New Orleans coming off back-to-back stops.
I'm surprised Mo Williams is not in the game. They have Richard Jefferson out there now. Mo Williams, to me, is a guy who can create more, better shooter. Richard Jefferson has played well, but I'm a little bit surprised that Mo Williams is not in the game on this possession.
Instead, it is Jefferson, J.R. Smith, Kevin Love, Matthew Dellavedova, and LeBron James. Love with just 1 point in the second half. Dellavedova to trigger in. Finds Love. Here's James. Guarded by Davis. Superstar on superstar. James rumbles in, pivots, and finishes with the left hand. Cavs back up by 1.
Great defense, better offense.
103-102 Cleveland. Here's Evans off balance. No. Rebound handed to James. New Orleans has to foul. They won't yet. Yes, they will. The foul applied in the backcourt by Evans. So 2 free throws now for LeBron James, who has 21 in the quarter. New Orleans with 1 timeout remaining. And James connects. It looked like one of the more uninspiring performances of the season as Ashik comes in to secure the rebound for LeBron James, and he's turned it into about as inspiring a fourth quarter as you'll see.
Well, it's the competitor that comes out of you.
And James cans them both. It's a 3-point Cavs lead, and LeBron James has 20.